Okay, so it's that time of the year. The spring is in the air, the birds are singing, and it's time to start thinking about the next step. So let me show you what that's gonna be. So I've already dropped the tree for the flooring, but I'm kind of snowed in up there, so I'm gonna kind of jump around from 2 or 3 different things at a time here. The wind is blowing hard today. It's getting my stone pile cleared off the snow that was on it pretty good. So that's my stone pile. That is the stone pile from the original house, and actually right here, this is starting to defrost. These are the stones from the arch. I kept them separate. Everything else I kind of mixed together, but I kept my arch stones separate because I want to reuse the same ones they had above. This one here is the keystone, so I kind of want that same keystone above my fireplace, although the opening is going to be a little bit larger than they had, so I'll probably need to find me a stone or two to mix in there to make it larger. But anyway, this is my stone pile that I have to work with, and it's pretty large, and these are all the original stones from the original house. All of them are in really good shape. However, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I'm going to try to use different material on the inside in order to save space. Any place you can't see, bricks or blocks or whatever I can, to try to conserve my stones for what you can see as much as possible. But I also have another pile. There's the cabin from this side, my old Mustang. My kids and I restored that, and I gave it to my son, so I'm just waiting for him to come get it. Anyway, it runs great. It's got a 5.0 5-speed transmission. Good running car. So there's a stone laying there too that I was going to use. I used a couple of them to prop up the bottom. Now those ones aren't as old. I got those from somebody else to hold up my front porch, because that's the way they would have done it back then too. So I kind of wanted it to look as close to natural as possible. And this pile of stones come from my sister's house, and as the story goes, my older brother, they're all older because I'm the baby of 9, one of my older brothers and my brother-in-law dug these out of a dump somewhere at some point in time, and they had them just lining a parking area. So I'm gonna put those right in with my fireplace with the old stone. They are old stone too. Who knows what they were. You know, these things had no value to people. In the 60s, 70s, they were just dumping them over, throwing them in landfills faster than you could imagine. So it wasn't until recently that they started to see value in the old hand-cut stone. And I'd been doing some... Hayden's got the first one. Ice fishing. Come on, you got him. We did pretty good yesterday.
That's a nice
and
fish.
Hopefully, I get out once or twice more before everything thaws out.
Keep
so, anyway, let's go in and I'll show you the plans for the fireplace.
Nice. Gosh, look at that.
I've got...
Here, hold on.
Now my mess is on the other side now. I do live here, so I kind of have to deal with what it is. You know, I'm trying to build this, and this is where I have to live. I don't have any other place. I don't have a lot of money to move, so I'm looking at, you know, I just do what I can, kind of the way the pioneers would have done it. You know, you make good with a place to sleep. I normally shut my heat off at night because with all this plastic, and I just don't have the capability of keeping this thing completely warm all night long. On the nights that it was 5 and 6 degrees, I kept the pot belly burning the best I could, and I have a wood furnace in the basement, and I have a gas furnace too, but none of them really do a good job. So I found it easier for me just to cover up good, close the bedroom door, and build a fire when I get up. So I just built a fire in the pot belly, and it's not bad out today, so pretty warm. Anyway, back to the kitchen. So this is my kitchen area. That is my loft up there, but this down here is the kitchen. To the big opening in the middle, of course, is the fireplace. This is my hearth pad here, so the fireplace will sit on the back side of that, the hearth extension on the front. This fireplace will be made primarily for cooking, not for heating. I love to have little parties, little get-togethers, feed people, sit around the table and talk. The fireplace will be a place that we can bring back the past. This is what they used to do. You know, after a hard day's work, family would just sit around that table and talk and enjoy the little bit of heat that comes from the fireplace. So I'm really looking forward to that. To the left is going to be my kitchen stove. Now, I got an old kitchen stove given to me. It's wood, coal-fired only. It will sit in this corner. I'll probably line the walls with a little bit of tin to keep the heat off the walls. I will definitely have it hooked up so I can use it. I love cooking on that thing. I've used it lots. It'll cook a loaf of bread better than any conventional oven ever dreams of doing. So I'm looking forward to using that stove. And then to my right, of course, where the chandelier's hanging is where the table's going to be, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to bust my face on it. To the right-hand side, of course, is going to be my kitchen sink. It won't be exactly right there. And then kitchen cabinets of some sort. I really don't know exactly what they're going to be like. I would guess similar to what you're seeing here with this. This was an old microwave stand that I built several years ago. Not microwave stand. It was a dishwasher stand. So I hid a dishwasher in there, and because I just needed one. I'm a single guy. I hate doing dishes. Anyway, so in this corner around, and I'll get a video of it here later so that I can share it. I need to share it from where it sits. My buddy's hardware store that they just closed up. In the back corner is where they kept all of their sheets of glass. So if you broke a window, you could come down there and you could buy a sheet of glass. It is really neat what they're storing that glass in, and it makes sense. So all the way back in the 1800s, when the glass come in on the train and then was moved from the train by horse and buggy, it come in wooden skids, just like we would ship something today. So all the way back in the 1800s, someone took those wooden skids and screwed them all together and made a glass rack. These skids have markings on it from the original glass companies. They have all of the original wood that was used in the 1800s. I'm getting all of that, and I'm going to tear that all apart and hopefully build something really cool here that will be reminiscent of the simple way of doing it. For one, cheap. I don't have a big budget. I don't have money to go out and spend for expensive cabinetry. I have to do this way, but that's okay, because that's the way they would have done it. And I especially, cabins were not for rich people. Cabins were for the poorest of the poor, and I want to build this like that. So most everything I have here was given to me. I didn't spend a lot of money for it, even the kitchen sink. I'm going to scoot that sink probably this way, and I would guess the countertops are probably going to just be one great big large slab of wood. Something that I'm going to mill myself, and then everything else will probably be built out of that wood from down there or salvaged from the basement. I've got all the extra wood from the cabin in the basement. That's going to be, that corner is going to be my kitchen cabinets. I don't know how far down this wall. I'll probably throw a couple electrical outlets on the top there, just because I want to be able to use it too. But I'm going to keep that to a minimum for that wall. So anyway, I'm glad you get to come along with me. Looking forward to it. I also need to do all my chinking too. Nothing is chinked back there. There's the end of my chinking. Winter came and I was tired, and so I kind of took a break for a while, but it's time to get back on all of this, getting it chinked. Fireplace, I'm going to start as soon as I can get stones moved in here. I'm going to start moving a pile of stone in here so that I can start seeing this, visualizing this, and then I'm going to start getting it built. So anyway, thanks for coming along.